Hey, Steve.
Ty.
Hey, bro. I think making videos is kind of like getting your first tattoo. Like, we just want to keep buying more and more shit. Can I say shit?
Yeah, you can say
Okay.
shit.
Yeah, well, that's where we're at.
Anyway.
We just keep buying shit, apparently. So we got a new camera.
New microphone. We're gonna get another one for next
It
week.
sounds really good when we're up close like this. But
Yeah, but
you guys can deal with it now.
next week we're gonna get another one. Start to do this right, but
It's a Thursday, February 16th.
yeah,
Anything cool to happen today?
Thursday.
I slept all day. I've been kind of sick.
It's self-care day,
That's why I
recovery.
sound kind of monotone and stuffy. But yeah, what'd you do? You have no class? You didn't
Yeah.
do much?
Workout. I'm working this part-time job. Pays the bills. Pays for these cameras and equipment. So
That we just keep buying.
that yeah,
That we just keep getting.
exactly.
We have 2 angles now.
hmm
That's an improvement. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll see. He's drinking coffee out of a Moscow Mule cup. Thursday. Stephen Shee edition.
That you prep for me.
That would be funny. I don't even know where we got that cup
Yeah.
from. But today we want to talk about success and what success looks like to us as young men in college.
Yeah, just two 22-year-olds' perspective on what success means to us. And that could change over time, but we're here to document what it means to us today.
I think
Speak our truth.
there comes a point in like everyone's life where you have to question yourself and wonder what success means to you. And it can mean a lot of things, whether it's money, power, fame, wealth, whatever it is, or happiness. And I think you have to start really questioning all your decisions. And I don't know, are you successful? Did you fail? What does failure mean? That's a good one too.
Yeah.
You know? You want to dive into it, Steve-O?
Yeah, I can kick it off. So, I think there's multiple angles to sort of tackle this question, what is success? But I think a big one for me is to minimize regret, like I told you earlier.
Okay.
To minimize regret, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Good question.
Question of the day.
So everyone's life is finite, right? And there comes a time when we're getting deep, but your time on this earth will end. And then when that time comes, how would you feel about your life looking back on it? Would you feel regret for not fostering certain relationships, pursuing certain passions, achieving monetary success or not? Whatever it is that you wish you would have done and you didn't do, that's regret. And for me, the biggest thing of success, personal success to each person, must somehow relate to minimizing that regret.
Yeah.
Whether that be not starting a family or not starting a business because that's what you wanted, or pursuing anything in life that you deemed worthwhile but didn't. So not staying true to your core values and true beliefs.
Right. Do you have any regrets you want to talk about?
Of course, there's always small regrets. Like
People say this like they don't have regrets all the time. I don't know if they're lying or what. I think regret really stems from inaction, like you mentioned.
yeah,
It's like there's always these what ifs. I think having what ifs means you have regret.
yeah.
I think.
Well, I don't like
What?
I don't like the idea of thinking too much about regret. We talked about in the last podcast about staying present, right?
Right.
But it's good to learn from your failures. And we talked about this yesterday, kind of off camera, that failure is when you don't live to your core values, right?
Yeah.
Or when your core values have some sort of problem with it.
We got pretty deep yesterday talking about what failure is, because we're trying to define failure and think about times like when we failed personally, and it was kind of difficult for us to think about failure because every time we feel like we failed, it wasn't really failing, it was just us learning. And that's just us having a growth mindset, I believe. But there's definitely failures, you know what I mean? Like people have definitely failed a bunch of times. So just defining what that means was, like you said,
not living to your core values.
right, when your actions don't align with the person you want to be and the values you have.
Yeah. To give an example, you asked me what are some regrets I've had.
Yes.
So that ties to, let's say, not working hard enough for a class or not being
Yeah.
on time to an internship, because my core values are to be punctual and to work hard. And
Yeah.
there are times when I haven't lived up to that. There are times when I skip the gym for a week or 2 weeks. And there's times when you haven't lived up to what you your heart tells
Sure.
you should be doing.
Sure, or relationship wise.
Yeah, totally.
Like you betrayed a friend by lying to them.
Exactly.
You're going against your core value of being honest.
Exactly.
That's failure.
Not being a good friend, not calling your parents enough, whatever it is,
Yeah.
whatever's important to you and you fail to do,
Yeah.
that's
It's not
failure.
always, I think what we're trying to say is it's not always so black and white. Like you can not get the raise, but is that really failure, or are you just not getting more money? You know what I mean? Like what does that mean to you? Like
Yeah.
does that misalign with the values you have set for yourself? I don't know.
No, if something's out of your control,
Right.
that's not like sports betting and losing money is not It's
Yeah.
not failure. It's failure maybe to sports bet
Unless you just
to start with. If you don't think
that's like your job.
if you don't think that's a valuable thing, like I said, what's your core value, right?
Yeah, your core value is like betting on sports.
If you don't value,
Then you just gotta like question some other things.
yeah, not to throw shade on people who sports bet professionally, but for most people, if that's not aligned with your core value to be a bettor and you do it anyway, then that's failure to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
So minimizing regret, I think that's what came to mind.
For me, when we talk about success, I really tried to tie it into reaching your full potential and channeling all your ambitions into that. And what does that look like? I think there's no like clear way to define it. And I think you're constantly always like building and creating yourself fuller and building more. If that makes sense. I guess you just don't want to come to the end of your life and it's similar to yours, come to the end of your life and realize I had more in the tank and I didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's like loving deeper, having harder, like stronger relationships, or going outside the box and doing your own thing when you were, even if you're too scared to, you know what I mean? So
for you, a big part of it's doing the best you can do and giving all that you can give.
Yeah.
In this time you have on this earth.
Right. Doing your best in everything that entails.
Not fulfilling your potential. Yeah.
Right.
In whatever way that means, not just monetarily or
right.
Otherwise, there's also relationships and there's, all these other things.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just about being the best you can be. And that brings you to a point I was thinking about today because I've been a little sick. And it's being patient with yourself and realizing that success looks different every single day.
Mm.
So one day that might look like you ran 10 miles, you went to the gym, you swam, and you did all your homework. That's a kick-ass day. But there's other days where you really need sleep, which is extremely important, or you're like way too busy and like you ran into something, or like some crazy shit happened to like your car or whatever the case may be, and you couldn't get things done. And as long as you tried your best that day and gave it your all, that you won the day. That's success.
Yeah, you talked about this earlier. I have a great example for today. I hit leg day today, even though I didn't get much sleep yesterday.
Nice.
And when I try to
tough.
when I try to hit my my max squat weight, I could feel it when I lifted off the barbell that I was no way I could do the normal amount of reps I did.
Right.
So I took off like a plate and I was like, I'm gonna give my best that my body's able to do right now.
Yeah.
So today I did like half of the weight I was able to do normally, but I still showed up at the gym. I didn't quit. I'm still maintaining muscle somehow, and it's
this might be like the gym bro like part of me coming out, but I think that the gym can like really translate to a lot of lessons in life, and one of those lessons would be the fact that your potential is constantly going up and down every day. Like 1 week you might feel really great in the gym and like the weight's moving and everything's feeling right and your body isn't hurting. And the next week you're so sore you can't even move and everything feels like a brick wall, I guess, in a sense. So just being patient with yourself and realizing that success looks different every day.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, give your best, but also within the confines of your limits to that day or whatever circumstance you're living in.
Right. I think understanding what failure is to you might be easier first to define what success is to you. Like you mentioned.
Yeah.
They coexist.
Yeah. So like we talked about, if failure to us means not living up to your core values, then success must, by definition, living up to your core values.
You mentioned something yesterday in a class we had where you shouldn't be result oriented. Was that what you mentioned? It was.
Yeah, the entrepreneurship class.
Like Michael Phelps, once he won the gold medal, he was depressed because he accomplished his goal, and then it's now what? You know what I mean? It goes the same way if like your entire life is to win a Super Bowl, and you get to the Super Bowl and you lose. Are you a failure? You know what I mean? Like
no, I think
people put these metrics on it, and they measure their like their value and their success based off these
An outcome.
on an outcome.
That's not necessarily within their full control.
Right.
I think that's great. I think, yeah, the key to success is living up to your values, and sometimes that just means showing up and doing the work. If you don't get shredded within a year,
Great way to put it.
and you get shredded in 10 years, you're still showing up to the gym and you're doing your work because everyone has different body types, right?
Exactly.
But the point is living up to your value. Your value is working hard. Your value is pursuing your goals, and if you're putting in the effort to do that, it doesn't matter how long it takes to succeed. You're pursuing the path that's true to you.
Yeah.
So it's about the effort, not what comes out of it, I suppose.
Completely, dude. Completely.
So I think that's a
and
great
once we
point.
can realize that, and once we can get to the point where the process is the result and the approach is the destination, we've won.
Yeah,
We've won.
we've won. Yeah, the lecture yesterday was about that. To not be goal-oriented, but be process-oriented or purpose-oriented.
Right. And that's pretty difficult to do, I think.
Yeah.
Being so young and focused on the outcome all the time. Like, I want this amount of money, this amount of followers, this grade, whatever the hell it is. It's distracting, to say the least.
Yeah.
But just focus on the process, put your head down, realize that success looks different every day, and define what your values are in correlation with success. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So I guess another thing for people and us is to define what's important to you, right?
Completely. What are your values? Who are you? What do you believe in?
Yeah. And
What feels wrong and right?
And that could change. I mean, hopefully it doesn't change every day, what your core values
Yeah.
are, but you're allowed to learn and test out what you believe is important.
Yeah.
I think it's important for everyone to sit down and really write down or just think about what's important to them and actually live up to that. Like, if going to the gym is not important to you, that's fine. Maybe like pursuing, oil painting is important to you. Then
Maybe
pursue
you work
it,
hard. Maybe you work hard in different ways.
Exactly.
For us, I feel like productivity is linked to working out and fitness,
That's a part of it.
and that's part of us channeling like our ambition towards that, and that's what we value. It's totally fine if people put their value in, I don't know, like
School, academia, like whatever arts.
something
Anything.
that we wouldn't personally value. I don't know, like chess.
Yeah.
Someone
But
just
if-
grinds on chess every
exactly.
single day, and they
Yeah.
like have fulfillment from that,
Mm-hmm.
and that aligns with their value of hard work. Then you're winning.
Right, but if your true passion is chess and you believe that's valuable, but you don't play enough, or you're pursuing a job that doesn't relate to it when you could, that's important.
You're gonna have regrets, and you're not
Exactly.
reaching your full potential, which are the two
Yeah.
things we define as success.
Exactly. So everyone's regret looks different because everyone's core value and what's important to them is different.
Bingo.
But it's true for everyone that you should listen to your heart. As cheesy as that
As just
sounds.
corny as that is, it's pretty. I think, Steven, something we should talk about is credibility. Like, why should anyone like want to listen to this and be like, these two 22-year-old kids have like some kind of clue? Because
We have no clue about anything.
and that's like why I think this is valuable. I think this is like why this conversation we're having with each other and with this camera and whoever's watching this is important, because we're 22-year-old kids that are trying to journal our thoughts down and create ideation so that in 5-10 years from now we do have successful businesses and we are hopefully like we define as successful people. We can look back on this and laugh and think like, wow, like this was our mindset at the time, and like this is what we believed in, and so it worked, or maybe it didn't work. But,
Yeah, but
but at least we gave it down. We tried,
exactly. So we don't claim to be experts in anything. In fact, I think we would openly admit that we know very little about a lot of things. Almost
We're experts.
everything.
I think we're experts in not being experts in anything.
We're willing to admit it, and this is we're here to talk about what we think we know and what we think we don't know,
Yeah,
and journey how that process changes. And I think that's useful for other people to see.
Hopefully.
if they find that useful.
I hope. Yeah, maybe. I think a lot of people are watching this and realizing that they don't have a lot figured out either, but they're trying to like channel their ambitions and get to a place where they can figure it out.
Yeah,
So this is us taking the leap and doing that.
exactly.
I think this is pretty good for the day. To be honest
Yeah, I
with
think we'll cut it short. You're a little bit sick. I had a long day.
you. Yeah.
But we showed up and we did what we could today.
Success.
Success.
Bang.